If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. Good night from the Dusty Wheel. And we sit around here, smash to black. Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, the Innkeeper, and this is our live call and talk show all about the Wheel of Time. Now, we're back here on this Sunday afternoon to do this really unique show, the table read. But before we do that, I want to remind you of two things coming up. We're obviously back here every Wednesday, and this next Watt Wednesday, we're going to go back to Watt on Prime, or I guess we call them the Wheel of Time now. Now, we're going to be talking all about the news that's come out recently and probably picking apart what we think we need to have and what we can let go with the TV show. Kind of revisiting some of the comments from Rafe about girding our loins as fans and getting ready for this. And then don't forget, next Sunday, we have something special too. It's a live screening with writer and director Joel Bentalila for Starboy, which is an independent film that stars Barney Harris, who plays Matt in The Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime. That's going to be happening at the Dusty Wheel on Twitch. Please be there. It's 3:30 Eastern. It's going to be a fantastic experience. We'll have the phone lines open. You can call and ask Joel your own questions about what it was like to direct Matt, or I should say Barney Harris, in this role. Okay, that is it. That is all the news. I think what you're here for is the Wheel of Time table read that we're about to do. So with that, why don't I introduce all my guests today? Welcome to the Dusty Wheel, all of you. Thank you for being here. Why don't I go around the squares, if you will, here. Kristy Lussier. Kristy is going to be playing Verin, and Kristy's the one that wrote this mock screenplay adaptation. So Kristy, thank you very much for putting that time in. It's a lot of fun. I know fans are like, wait a second, if you don't know about what we're doing today, we're actually having a live table read of a mock screenplay adaptation that Kristy's done. And we can put that link, I've already posted it before, we'll post that link in the live chat here on YouTube. If any of the admins that are in there right now want to post that for me, they can, but I'll get that to you if you want to read along when we do this. But Kristy, thank you so much for, like I said, writing that up, and I think fans are really excited. I'm excited to take part in this. So, and yeah, it's a blast. And then BrotherDan is back with us, a fan favorite. Thank you very much, BrotherDan, for being with us, and we'll be narrating our table read. Good to have you here.
I'm trying to summon my inner Michael Kramer for tonight's show.
Nice. I like it. I appreciate you coming back and being with us. And Jason is with us today. Jason will be playing Leane. Jason happened to win the raffle. Like it was was it 3 months ago?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
It was a while ago. Jason, thank you so much as our fan, a viewer that won the raffle to be part of this. I really appreciate you being here, Jason. I can't wait. I actually did get a sneak peek into Jason's rehearsal of this. Does a fantastic job as Leane. So thank you for being here. And then, of course, Maria Leah Malandrino. or by memo, as many of you know her, the person that does the Wat Chibis. I don't know. You have lots of names, Maria. So
That's me. Yeah, I'm a woman of many names.
you are. And today, your name is Moiraine. So that's a lot of fun. I can't wait for that. That's going to be great. Thank you, Maria, for being with us. And someone new here at the Dusty Wheel is Jeff, but not new to us, that I've known him for a very long time. Hopper, as I've known him at Theoryland for decades now. That's right, he's old. And he will also be playing Rand today. So, Jeff, thanks for being with us, man.
And I'm going to be summoning my inner Kate Redding.
Love it. I can't wait to hear that. And then, of course, someone also new to the Dusty Wheel here, at least as a guest, is Grace, or as many of you know her, Bain and Chiad. And
Hi, everybody.
Grace, she's going to be playing Leane today, so that's awesome to have you here. Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I know this is a lot of people were like, I can't wait for this episode. So, and then Alyssa is here, as many of you know her. She who brought us the Royals Wheel of Time parody. That was amazing. I can hear it in my head. And you went from Elaine to now Siuan. So I'm looking forward to this, Alyssa. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And then last but not least, another fan favorite who all of you know as Norm here at the Dusty Wheel, Lancer, who will actually be playing Tam today. Lancer, thanks for coming back, man.
Thanks, man. I'll try to keep the Samuel L. Jackson voice to a minimum, I promise.
Yes. I think what'll happen is at the end of this, everyone's going to want you to do that after this first version. We'll do a second quick read through of just Tam's line as Samuel L. Jackson. That's awesome.
After today, everyone's going to just say Tam when he walks in.
So I thought what we'd do is just jump into this. Kristy, I don't know if you want to take it from here, maybe explain to fans what this is, what a table read is, and then we can jump to your script.
Sounds good. So thanks everyone for having me. I'm excited to be back. We actually kind of did this last year, I believe September, where I actually took a scene from The Eye of the World and just did kind of a mock adaptation of what it might look like in screenplay format or episodic format in terms of scripting. And we had a lot of fun with it, and it was really great. So we decided, let's come back and do it again for the Great Hunt. And so what I've done is we selected actually, I didn't select the scene. Sarah selected the scene and said, this is the scene that we're doing. So this is the scene I did.
She was on what was that? She was on the episode a couple episodes ago.
Or a month ago, yeah.
Yeah, we mentioned that we were going to be doing this, and she was like, you should totally do this scene. And it's a scene we had talked about doing. So we're like, okay.
Yeah.
This was one of the three we were thinking about, so this is a great one.
Yeah. And it seemed like a couple of people in chat have already mentioned, they've said like, oh, is this that scene? So I'm excited that we did it because it's pretty obviously iconic and well-known one. But so what we're going to do today is we're going to do what's called a table read, which many actors do, whether it's film-wise or TV show-wise, where they literally sit at a table and they read through the script. Take notes and kind of go over what the next episode looks like for them or the scripting for a film looks like for them. And so that's what we're going to do today. So we've got a great cast. I'm very excited. That's pretty much it. We're just going to go through this scene in the Great Hunt and see what everybody thinks.
Awesome. And just a reminder, if you're just joined us, you can go and grab the link to this script and follow along if you want to be reading along with us. The ad. I know I saw that Master the Deck in live chat already posted it once, but call out if you don't have it, and we'll make sure that we post it again for you here in chat. And without further ado, then let me turn it over to you, BrotherDan.
Thank you, guys. This is Summoned, written by Kristy Lussier. Interior, Baldara Fortress, hallway, day. Rand and Lan exit the heavy iron doors from the men's apartments and both descend the stairs swiftly. Lan moves with focus, purpose. Rand moves like he's never walked down a flight of stairs before. His nerves are noticeable. Lan does his best to coach him through what he's about to face. Summoned by the Amarillan seat. Why?
Now remember, You kneel when you go before her. One kneel only, left hand on sword, bow your head. Understand?
Left knee on sword, bow my hand. Yes.
Lan stops him at the bottom of the steps.
Maybe we should practice.
I saw the Queen's Guard kneel to the Queen Morgaze, so like that, yes?
Lan continues to walk. Rand stares after him for a moment.
Just like that, sheep herder. That'll show him.
Rand rushes to catch him. Up ahead, the large doors to the women's apartments loom. Rand eyes them with fear. I should just run right now. The corridors are a bustle with people, as servants attend to morning chores and warriors lounge about in casual robes, admiring each other's swords. Briefly, they pass Ingtar. He slightly raises his arm, opens his mouth to speak. Lan immediately puts a hand up in a stop motion. Ingtar closes his mouth. Instead, another man, Kaijin, pumps his fist in the air as Lan passes by.
Taishar, Malkir. Taishar, Manethrin.
Rand jumps at Kaijin's voice. They all know Manethrin here. Lan's eyes face forward. He too raises his fist in reply.
Taishar, Shinar.
Rand begins to panic more. His eyes search for escape. I'm a total fool.
I should just run.
Rand turns to run. Again, without moving his eyes or face, Lan reaches back and grabs Rand by the collar and yanks him forward again.
There is one rule. Whatever comes, face it on your feet.
Yes, right. Face it on my feet. On my feet.
They approach the doors to the women's apartments. Surrounded by a gather of Aes Sedai, the calm demeanor of each face seems unnerving. They are not surprised to see Lan or Rand arrive there. Just before they stop, Lan barks a low whisper.
Cat crosses the courtyard.
Rand snaps to realize what he means. Head back and straight. Assume a relaxed stance. A woman, Nasura, sits at a table and greets them pleasantly.
Honor to you both. The Amerlin seat awaits you.
Rand freezes in place. I'm gonna be sick. Nasura motions them through the already open doors as two other women escort them forward. Rand quickly follows Lan, who strides along with ease. Blood and ashes. How is he so calm? How? The doors to the Amarillen's chambers fill his vision now. Dark, overwhelming, and ominous. She's behind those doors. Light. I'm going to face the Amarillen Sea. 3 Aes Sedai stand outside the doors. Leane, tall and regal, holds her golden flame staff. Her eyes focus firmly on Rand's face. Have I seen her before? No. Possibly? No. Lan and Rand stop before her. Lan briefly bows his head to greet Leane.
Lan Gaideen, what have you brought the Amerlin seat today?
Leane Sedai, the light illumine you.
Better not let the green see this young lion. He'll be bonded before he can take a breath.
Rand's eyes turn to Lan in terror, but he quickly looks back to the doors. Remember what he said. Head and back straight. Always look them in the eye. Before he can regain a sense of calm, the words just blurt out.
I am Rand al'Thor, son of Tam al'Thor, of the Two Rivers, which was once Manethrin. I have been summoned by the Amerlin seat, Leane said I. So I do come, and I stand ready.
I made it through. The women all smile, almost a smirk of laughter. Lan closes his eyes for a moment, a long moment. This boy is going to send me to an early grave. Leane is more amused than anything.
This is supposed to be a shepherd, Lan Gaideen. This morning, he was not so sure what his own name was.
Okay, yes, I have seen her before. Yes, Light, I'm a fool.
He's a man, Leane Sedai. No more, no less.
The world does grow stranger each day. Wait here.
The few moments she is gone feel like days. Rand's heartbeat rings in his ears. Leane appears from the doorway and motions Rand to enter. Rand cannot move. His feet, like cement, are stuck in place. Rand gives a little cough to get his attention. Rand hears it and finally steps forward. As Land goes to follow behind, Leane slaps her staff in his path.
Not you, Land Guidine. Moiraine Sedai has a different task for you.
Rand glances back at Land. What? No, I cannot.
Very well.
Land turns to leave, but not before he whispers one parting message to Rand.
Taishar Manethrin.
The door then shuts firmly on Land. Amaryllin's chambers that moment. Rand stares at the closed door. He turns and takes in the setting around him. Moiraine sits on one side of a wide table and Verin Sedai on the other. Behind the table, in a tall chair, there she sits, eyes focused only on Rand. Curtains partially drawn on a large window behind her chair give her just enough light to create halo rays around the Amarylline seat. Instinct jolts through Rand as he drops to one knee, hard. Left hand on the right hand on the ground, left hand on the sword hilt. Bow your head. Light, Rand. Get it together.
As you have summoned me, mother, so I have come, and I stand ready.
The Amarylline, Swan Sanche, raises an eyebrow.
Stand up, boy, and let me have a look at you.
Rand manages to stand himself upright. His eyes now meet hers. Swan points to a chair in front of her table.
Sit.
Rand hesitates. Again, Land's words float in his mind. Whatever comes, face it on your feet.
Thank you, but by your leave, mother, I will stand.
Swan's eyes then turn to Moiraine, who does not even flinch.
I see Lan has gotten a hold of him by now.
Lan has been teaching all the boys, mother. He has spent an extra bit of time with this one because he carries the sword.
Guidine can be useful, but always stiff-necked and proud.
Swan's eyes ran sword.
A heron-marked blade. How did he come by that, Moiraine?
Well, Tamal Thor left the Two Rivers as a boy, mother. He joined the army of Ilian, fought in the White Cloak War, and the last two wars with Tyr. Rose to Blade Master, then second captain of the Companions. After the El War, he returned from Shamelin to the Two Rivers with a new wife and an infant child.
Rand stares at Moiraine, a bit stunned. Swan nods her head. How did she know all that? Swan then turns to Verin.
Can you tell if the blade is authentic?
There are tests, mother.
Then take it and test it.
Verin nods but does not move. Rand panics and grabs the hilt of his sword.
No one is taking my sword. My father gave it to me. It stays with me.
Finally, a moment of confidence.
So, you do have a bit of fire in you. Good. You will need it.
Swan stands and paces about behind her desk. She casually addresses Rand. Moiraine has now picked up a cup of tea from a small table near her chair. She sips delicately.
The dagger that your friend carried, Matt, it has been taken, I'm afraid. Unless it is found and the link between he and the blade completely broken, he will die.
Rand shifts just a touch. The words hit him deeply.
In an hour, Ingtar will leave to find the stolen horn and hopefully the dagger. Your friends, Matt and Perrin, will go with him. I will be leaving with Moiraine, Egwene, and Nynaeve, returning to Tar Valon.
Rand looks to Moiraine. She continues to sip.
You may ride with Ingtar and your friends if you wish, or you may stay here. The choice is yours. You don't have to decide now.
I will ride with Ingtar, mother.
Swan nods. She picks up a book from the table, turns a few pages, and again casually talks to Rand.
Now that is decided, we will address other matters. The most important one is making you aware that I know you can channel.
As if the breath is knocked right out from him, Rand's heartbeat stops pounding in his head. She looks up from the book to his face and awaits a reaction. Moiraine stares at him intently. Verin's left hand slightly grips the armrest of her chair.
No, I didn't do it on purpose. I won't do it again, ever.
You won't? Or you don't want to?
Is this a mind trick? An Aes Sedai mind trick?
I don't want to.
Wise. Well, foolish, but wise. However, you will continue to channel, boy. You can't help it. You will again wield the one power whether you want to or not. What you must do is learn to control it.
How am I supposed to do that?
It was abrupt. Moiraine, once again, unruffled, sips her tea. Verin only looks up at him.
Moiraine says she cannot teach me. Who can? I don't want to learn. I want to stop it.
Ran, I spoke the truth. Male Aes Sedai are 3,000 years dead. No living Aes Sedai can now teach you how to touch saidin any more than you can learn how to touch saidar. A bird cannot teach a fish to fly, and a fish cannot teach a bird to swim.
Such a bad saying. There are birds that dive and swim. There are flying fish in the sea of storms, and fish with beak-like swords, and can...
Verin catches Siuan's eye. Even Moiraine seems put off. Rand breaks the silence.
Then you should just gentle me.
And why would I do such a thing? You are not a false dragon.
I'm just a shepherd from the two rivers.
No, Rand al'Thor. You are not just a shepherd from the two rivers.
Siuan sits back down in her chair as if to brace for what is about to be said.
You are the true dragon reborn.
Rand's knees give. He can no longer hold his stoic, unwavering stance. Both Moiraine and Verin take note. This was not something he thought he would hear. He goes silent, the loss of words too great.
Moiraine, daughter, please tell him the story.
As Moiraine begins to speak, Rand's eyes stay focused on Siuan. The sound of Moraine's voice fogs into his mind.
Nearly 20 years ago, the Aiel crossed the spine of the world, the only time they have ever done so. Days and nights of war and fighting led them to the final battle outside the Shining Walls, in the shadow of Dragonmount.
As Moiraine continues, Rand hears Tam in his mind. In his fever dream state, Tam's words ring out.
Came over the dragon wall like a flood. Battles are always hot, even in the snow.
Moiraine and Tam's voices seem to battle in Rand's head. Back and forth, they both tell the story of how Rand came to be, of that fateful night near Dragonmount so many years ago.
I wasn't accepted then, as was our now mother, the Amyrlin Seat.
Moiraine and Siuan exchange a knowing glance.
It was that very night that we both were in attendance with the Amyrlin and her keeper, Gitara Moroso.
Get away. The smell of death.
Gitara had the foretelling sometimes, and when she did, it was strong.
Rand began to whisper to himself, reasoning and explanation for why all this was happening.
I was sick.
The slope of the mountain. Heard a baby cry.
The prophecies of the dragon say that the dragon will be reborn on the slopes of Dragonmount. And as we stood there and watched the rise of the light of dawn, Gitara sat straight up out of her chair, trembling, rigid.
Gave birth right there, in the dark, alone. The child was blue and cold.
It was just a fever dream. Just a dream.
Her face full of fear. Gitara cried out, "He is born again. I feel him. The dragon takes his first breath on the slope of Dragonmount."
I couldn't leave a child.
No.
"He is coming. Light help us. Light help the world. He is coming."
I couldn't leave a child cold and blue.
He lies in the snow. He cries like thunder, and he burns like the sun.
Yes, Rand is a good name.
I am Rand al'Thor.
The room grows quiet. A brief moment passes. Rand's hands shake. Siuan still looks straight at him.
And then we knew. The dragon was reborn.
Rand falls to his knees. His hands grasp the rug to catch him from falling over.
He will be of the ancient blood and raised by the old blood. The old blood of Manetheren seethes and flows in the two rivers.
3 young boys, all born days apart, right at the time of Dragonmount. They all reside in Eamon's Field, and one of them can channel.
Rand shakes his head back and forth. His eyes furiously blink. This isn't happening. This cannot be. Moiraine stands, steps closer to Rand, and looks down at him.
Did you think Trollocs came because you are Verin? No, Rand al'Thor.
He looks up at her, his eyes full of confusion, emotion.
You are the dragon reborn.
No, my father is Time aficionado. I'm just a shepherd.
You were made for a purpose. You were born to unite mankind and to fight the last battle against the Dark One. You are the one he seeks, the one he wants.
No, I can't be. I killed him. I killed Baal-Zaman.
You killed a piece of him, but the Dark One lives. He's breaking free, and you will face him. It is your destiny.
Rand realizes he's still on his knees and slowly stands.
What will you do with me?
Nothing.
Rand turns to Moiraine, confused, lost.
You have chosen to accompany Ingtar and your friends. That is your path.
Moiraine returns to her seat and sips her tea. Verin has now also picked up a cup and drinks.
Most sisters know you are Verin. Only those in this room know who you truly are. I will visit with your other friends, Perrin and Matt, and inform them you are to travel together. You may go as you will.
So simply, why?
The prophecies must be fulfilled. We let you walk free, knowing what you are, because if we do not, the world as we know it will die.
Rand looks to Moiraine, Verin, Siuan. This cannot be real. I am not what they say.
I'm not who you think.
Take care, Dragon Reborn.
Rand's head drops for a moment. He looks up at Siuan again.
By your leave, Mother, may I depart this place?
Siuan stands.
I give you leave to go. My son.
Her words sting Rand. He bows his head and turns to leave. Siuan's gaze looks out the window. The halo rays surround her face. Footsteps heavy, Rand reaches the door. Hand on the doorknob, he stops and speaks over his shoulder.
What if it is me? What if I am the one the Dark One seeks? What happens then?
Moiraine and Verin exchange a look. Over her shoulder, Siuan responds.
You will go mad.
Rand turns, eyes wide. Siuan turns, and a sliver of light hits Rand's face.
And then you will save the world.
Rand takes her words in, grabs the hilt of his sword, and exits. Smash to black, end scene. Yay!
Nice job, everyone. That was so good. I've read through that. The first time Kristy sent that to me, the last, I think I've told all of you, the last 8 pages gave me the chills the entire time. And then during the rehearsal, I had the same experience, and then right now. So that was always really good. So
Matt,
yeah,
try reading the lines.
I got off easy this time. I just had one line for me. So yeah, I was watching everyone's comments. apparently, it sounds like they want a lot of you to go and just take on these roles in the books. I mean, in the series itself. I saw one comment about wishing. I think it was Miss Sarah James said that Miss Sarah James wished that you that Moiraine in the show would have a Spanish accent or whatever accent that Maria, like you were bringing like a texture to Moiraine that others hadn't imagined before. So nice job.
I agree.
That was awesome. So yeah, I kind of want to go around the room here. Kristy, let me start with you. Like, how was that to have these fine fans read your work?
Oh, well, first off, awesome job. Everybody did great. Thank you for letting me do that and take it on. I would be remiss to say that I feel weird saying it's my work.
Yes. yes.
Take it straight from the great one there, Robert Jordan himself. But when it's such a powerful scene and it's so significant to all of us, knowing how important that moment is for him to hear those words.
Yeah.
And for it to really give this sense of like, we understand now, and a TV audience seeing a scene like that would understand that there's a gravity behind this. It's not just now he raises to a greatness. There's a sacrifice or there's a loss that he's going to have to go through, which is he will go mad and probably die trying to save the world. And so I really wanted that to be very poignant in this sequence, because I think that's probably the heaviest and most important part of that whole scene anyway. So yeah, you guys did a great job. It's great to hear it read out loud. It's awesome. It's still one of those scenes, even for me, that gives me the chills, and I'm glad I got to rewrite it. So it was cool.
Yeah, exactly. Rajesh said Kristy Jordan.
If only, I wish.
Obviously, Robert Jordan's works, and to play in that playground a bit here is a lot of fun for fans, and hopefully for you. Hopefully, I don't know. You've done this twice now. I want to, once we get done going around the room, I want to find out if there's another scene out there coming up that we're like, you know what, this one would be a fun one to tackle again sometime in the future. So. BrotherDan, what were your thoughts here, man? I think we heard most of your voice this entire time narrating it. I think you did a fantastic
I need some
job.
Honey and water.
I
thought it was great. I really, my favorite part, I think, is when there was the interchange of Tam and Moiraine within Rand's head. And I can see that being the case, because Rand is in the show is going to have the opportunity to possibly hear voices. No spoilers. So that sort of thing really kind of brought it more to life, how it could happen, these kind of dueling pianos of voices.
I would totally agree with that. I loved that. That was in the script, probably that, and then just the interaction between Siuan and Rand. Those two sections, I love the back and forth there. But that, I can't remember what you called it, but that just the juxtaposition of Tam and Moiraine and Rand, and just having that go back and forth between them all. And I'm seeing just when we get down to you, Lancer, I'm seeing some Tamser. Tamser is your new Tamser Al Norm is it might be your new name around here. So.
I can dig it. That was pretty cool. I like that. Thank you. I like.
Yeah, it was. I think it's a good name. I think that's a good name to replace professional caller inner. I think that's I like that.
Done.
So Jason, thank you for joining us as Lan. I really liked your Lan. I really liked. There was something so distinguished about it that. Like immediately when you started speaking during the rehearsal, I was like, "Oh, did he practice that? Because that's a really good Lan right there." So nicely done. What was how did you enjoy that experience, and what was your kind of favorite part?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I really liked how, when I got the scene, I went to the audiobook and saw, it's a 40-minute recording for the scene, and I thought, wow. How is she going to get it down into something that's going to fit on a dusty wheel? And she did a great job of, getting it nice and succinct and well captured down. And so that was fun. Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't. That's cool that you went back and looked that up to see just how much we were getting into this kind of 15-20 minute read through. Yeah, that's awesome. And Maria, thank you for staying up out there. I guess it's not too late where you're at, but
no, it's fine. half
Yeah,
10.
so-
Pretty
well,
good.
thank you for. I mean, what did you think when you got cast as Moiraine? Were you?
Oh, I was terrified. I mean, who wouldn't? Also, I was feeling very trepidatious regarding my accent because obviously I do have one. And but yeah, I agree. I'm glad that people are not bothered by it. And actually, I think in terms of the script, I really love how how the Rand's inner voice is a little bit more casual than Rand's voice is in Wheel of Time. I feel like that that would be a great way to sort of transport the viewers into a more modern sort of taste for TV shows. So
Yeah, it was,
really
yeah,
love that.
yeah. That's something we don't really. I mean, obviously we get his point of view, but these kind of little things that seem a little bit more real, like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what's about to happen? We don't get
Exactly.
that as much, So yeah, that was, I agree. But yeah, you did a fantastic job as Moiraine. Thank you. That was awesome. And Hopper as Rand. You are like the original Jordan version of Rand, which was an older, soldier that came back that saved the world, but eventually became two people. You got to play both of those positions.
Thank you, I think.
Yeah, I have to tease you a little bit. We've known each other too long. So what did you think?
Yeah.
What did you think, Hopper, about taking on Rand in the script?
When I got the email or the message saying who I was playing in the script, I'm going, really? I was stunned. But it has to be one of the biggest honors because Rand is moderately important in this story.
Yeah,
Just a bit.
somewhat.
I will say that you brought a real vulnerability that Rand is feeling to this voice role. You did fantastic. I loved it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, I think
Part of what I
settled in.
did is, like I said earlier, I was sitting at my table. I was completely tense. I completely internalized all of those feelings and felt them the whole way through. I was trying to show that on my face, but I don't know how much of that shows up in, tiny little box on screen. So
Yeah, no, you were there. It was there.
I felt every word that I said in that.
Method acting. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. And I was staring at the script, so I didn't get to watch, but I'm sure I should have been watching that. I don't know why I was staring at the script the entire time, as I didn't have any other lines.
Yeah, you had one line.
But I was reading along with it. I don't know. So Grace, thank you for being here, and hope you enjoyed your sojourn as Leanna. How did that go for you? I mean, did you like this experience, and kind of what was your favorite part?
Yeah, I mean, this was a total honor. It was really exciting to be behind the scenes instead of in chat where I usually am. And being Leanna was fun. I mean, of course, being an Aes Sedai, being that powerful and having that control feels really nice. And it was fun to just have a few lines and then be able to sit back and enjoy the rest of the performance.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was interesting when Kristy sent me it, because I was like, oh, we'll just need a couple people. There's 9 of us here, and Kristy did 2 voices. You know what I mean? So it was. I liked just how many people were involved in this, because it really gave it a well-rounded feel, and you could imagine all these things happening and all these characters being there. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thanks, Grace, for doing that. And Alyssa, I know you had a significant role here at the end of the second half of the script, and I see a lot of comments people loved your performance as Siuan. Yeah, what was your experience like?
Well, when I volunteered, I remember telling my family, I was like, "Oh, I volunteered to do this. I'm so excited!" And then you said, "Oh, we'd like you to participate." And I thought, "Well, I'll probably be barmaid number 2." And then, I got the script, and it was like, "Oh, you're gonna be Siuan." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's gonna be that scene, isn't it? It's gonna be that scene. I can't mess this up." But it was so fun, and I just every time I read it, I got chills. It was such a neat experience to read it in a live format, and I don't know, it kind of brought it a new life, and I just loved it. The script was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I get the chills every time I read this. So it does make me wonder what the experience is gonna be like to watch the TV show. I feel like it's gonna be a lot like that, right?
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be crazy. Just every line, every kind of beat that they have in the show, just watching it. and I'm sure there'll be chills aplenty, if you will. So yeah, it was awesome. No, you did a fantastic job. Like I said, I saw a lot of love for the voice acting you brought to it. So
Thank you.
well done. And last but not least, Tamser, Al Norm, thank you very much for joining us. You killed it there too. I mean, a lot of people liked your Tam interpretation there. So well done. What was your experience like, and what was your favorite part?
I was just trying to do the man justice. I mean, come on, he's a blade master and father of the Dragon Reborn. What am I? I'm just a guy from San Diego. So
I'm just a shepherd.
We do have to maybe like afterwards for those watching, if you don't know, we do an after show in Discord. I think if you have time, Tamster Al Norm, you should show up there and do your Samuel L. Jackson impression that you did earlier during the rehearsal. That's a good reason to show up and show up the after show on Discord. So if you want to see that or potentially see it, I don't want to commit Norm to have to do this, but make sure you show up afterwards on Discord. It's a lot of fun. So before I have some additional questions for everybody, but I want to thank Village Mattress for the tip here. Great table read. Thanks again for the quality content. Again, Innkeeper, and well, that's on everybody else here. I just got to watch today. But and Scott said thank you, Innkeeper, for keeping table reads in the future. This was an awesome table read. Yeah, I continue to love these. It's something kind of unique and fun to do as fans. And so I kind of want to go back to you, Kristy. Is there a scene that comes to you? It doesn't have to necessarily be in The Dragon Reborn, but it could. We could try to pick a scene as we kind of move down. Is there one that comes to you personally where you think The Dragon Reborn, this particular scene would be an awesome table read?
Oh gosh, I can't think in The Dragon Reborn because my mind immediately jumps to Shadow Rising because there's so many in there that I would totally do. So I probably have to go back and flip through. Nothing's jumping out at me right now, except for maybe towards the end. But
I'm going to ask everybody that, and then I'll ask on chat. Do you have a scene from The Dragon Reborn for those that are watching this? If you're like, this would make an awesome table read for us to do it. I'm kind of curious what they'll say, and then to who was speaking up here? Who had an idea? Was it you, Jason?
Yeah, I had two possible ideas. One would be the inn in Kyrian when Verin and Matt and everybody shows up with Rand and they take away the horn. That's got lots of parts. It could be kind of interesting, right? Mm-hmm. And the other one is maybe at the end where the girls are talking to Moiraine about the final battle and what's going on, and Matt is like, "What are they talking about? Just tell me the important stuff," and it keeps interrupting their conversation.
Actually, where I went to was the rooftops of the Stone of Tear, going there, where Matt runs into all the Aiel, runs into Julian, and he's like, "How many people are on these roofs?" And so I could see you making that a pretty funny scene.
That would be cool. Yeah, anything that has a little bit of comedy, I'm totally on it for sure.
Yeah. I like that. We haven't really kind of pushed that angle with these. Picking a funnier scene would be
yeah.
I like that. Anyone else among us here have any kind of scenes from The Dragon Reborn that they think would be fun to do as a table read?
I think when everyone meets back up after Rand returns from the Portal Stones.
Oh, the flicker.
Are you talking about when you say Portal Stones, are you talking about in the Great Hunt? Am I like?
Great Hunt?
Yeah, I'm talking. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't remember them using. They don't use. Is it?
After he comes back from meeting up with Leane.
Oh yeah, that was the same scene I was saying. That was from the Great Hunt, wasn't it?
Yeah, from the Great Hunt. Yeah,
that's not Dragon Reborn. Yeah.
I've read them so many times that they all kind of blur together.
Sorry, I love this because I'm putting everybody on the spot, and now you're having the experience of trying to pronounce a name live for the first time that you've never said in front of everybody, where you're like. You're a little bit like, oh shoot, was that something else?
Well, Kristy, how are you in action scenes? Do you want to take on Matt versus the Trekhan boys?
Oh, that would be glorious.
Yeah, that could be.
I think I said something like that too in the chat. I don't know if I saw that. Yeah, I can whatever.
But most of that's internal monologue for Matt, though. That's
that's true. Monologue. But I haven't written Matt yet because last time we did Eye of the World, it was Rand and Elaine and Gawain. So. Yeah, I mean, Matt would be fun to tackle for sure.
Yeah, that would be an interesting one. I still love
the girls. Rescues.
when he rescues the girls.
There was no
That's funny,
diss to
too.
what he did. Okay,
No, he didn't, though. He really didn't. They had
That's-
everything in hand.
trigger.
I love the rooftop scene. The scene where
good.
Matt runs into Tom and Tarvalon. I'm seeing it.
that's
Like,
true. Yeah.
there's Matt, Gabriel, and Morgaze. That could be interesting.
Okay.
If you want to do something really dramatic, you could do the scene where Rand is trying to revive that girl after she dies, and he's trying.
Oh,
to
like a
pump
dramatic.
Oh
the,
yeah.
He's trying to pump the the one power into her, trying to bring her back after he with Kalendor. That would be kind of deep too, if you wanted to go
Yeah.
that route.
Yeah, and something actually in the Stone of Tyr. Anything in that,
Yeah.
is going to be pretty much more dramatic. Yeah, I love that. I
Yeah,
love
because
that.
Alyssa took my
Nobody said Fail and Perrin.
Yeah, actually.
Yep.
that's what I
Could do
wanted to
Gaul.
There's a
say.
reason to that, Kristy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we should
Meeting a
have.
Gaul and then throw
Guys.
Fael
Yeah,
in
exactly.
over
Maybe
that.
like Perrin meeting Gaul and like freeing them and fighting the White Clocks. That would be cool. as well.
Yeah,
No,
that would be.
if you're gonna do a funny scene with them, you have it be the scene where the two of them fall down the stairs, and they're just kind of laying there and looking up, and the prelude to that and following it through. It's like,
Yeah, I think Kristy, you'll get a lot of people here watching us if we just do one isolated on Perrin and Fael. Just them talking on the ship. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
It'll be riveting.
So riveting.
Brother Buddha in chat just said the ladies in the Aiel. I agree with that. I think we need to see the Egwene, Nynaeve meeting the maidens and healing the wounded maiden.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
That's a
Meet
good one.
some really awesome characters during that time.
There's good
Yeah,
stuff.
that's a good
Yeah.
one. That would be a
Shadow
good
Rising
one.
is like my favorite book, so
I know.
there's so many good scenes.
Shadow Rising would be much harder. Yeah, to
Yeah,
pick
I
through.
can't. Yeah, it's like my favorite. So I'm like, there's just how about the whole book? I'll just do the whole book.
Yeah,
I like
just do the whole book.
Two Rivers Badger said, "My name is Mandarb." That would be a beautiful line right there.
Yes, that's true.
Somebody saying that out loud, with conviction, would be beautiful.
I like it. We should totally do that. Okay, yeah, and I think that'd be fun to come back to. Obviously, I think the last one we did. If you're watching and this later on and you did not see the first one, you should go check it out. It's not as obvious to find. I'll try to add that link in the description of the video, and make sure that I don't think I added the link to the script to this video, so I'll go do that afterwards. So people can download it again and read along with. Remember, this is a mock screenplay adaptation. This is something fun as fans that we're doing, or I should say that Kristy did, and put all the work into putting this together. Kristy, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but how long, just so fans, like something like this, as a writer, considering what you do, like taking a scene like this and putting it into this format, thinking this through, how long did something like this take?
So this one, when I did Eye of the World, that one took a little longer because I went back and I hadn't read that sequence in quite some time. So I read it a couple of times, and then that took me a good couple of hours, like 5-6 hours. This one, I just remembered this scene a lot more. It was more distinct in my head, and I knew, like the very end when he says, "What if it's me?" and then she's like, "You're gonna go mad, but you'll save the world." Like I've had that line in my head forever. Like I've always wanted that line to be in that scene for some reason. So I was like, as long as I can get to that, I can get there pretty quick. And this one probably only took me maybe about 3 or 4 hours. Because it sounds like, oh my gosh, that's a long time. But it really does take some time to know that the flow and the pace of what you're doing, that the dialogue isn't getting heavy or wordy,
Right.
and that the action, like you're carrying through movement. So having Lan and Rand walking the whole time and creating a sense that you can visually read, that you can sense they're moving forward, they're pushing the scene forward. There's always a forward progression until he gets into her chambers. And then the forward progression then becomes the storytelling aspect, becomes the weight of the words versus the action that you see on screen. And that takes some kind of nuance to really polish and make sure that it just doesn't start to get heavy or drag down. So it took about 3 or 4 hours for me to write that 15-page.
That's well, I would have thought it would have taken long. Like that's Yeah, that's really great. Like I'm even thinking like, how would I mean, I don't do this. Obviously, it'd take me like days to try to.
Yeah, I was thinking
throw
the same
something
thing.
together.
Like, days at a minimum.
Yeah, so that's really impressive because it's really, really well done. Like I said, I still get chills, just reading it, but then obviously having it acted out here, like right at the end, that back and forth between Siuan and Rand is it's really powerful. So,
yeah, it's
and
my favorite.
I mean, it's very powerful in the books too, right? So you were able to kind of transfer that same kind of power into the script, which was really cool.
Right.
And I'm seeing a lot of comments, or I saw Miss Sarah James threw this out early on, and then 9Ls just left a tip towards sound effects for future reads. Yeah, we do need. It would be fun. It'd be fun to add some sound effects, somewhat, maybe some ambient noises to go along with it. And I just need to find a little bit more time in my schedule, and I should add that. So next time I will do my best. Now I'm going to say this. You need to remind me because I'm not going to remember this commitment. But I'm telling you, as I'm sitting here right now, I will do my best to add sound effects next time. And what'll happen is we'll get it, we'll be done, and then afterwards I'll be like, oh shoot, I told people we were going to do that, and we didn't. Oh well.
We'll keep on you.
Yes, you need to remind me. You need to remind me about this. I did want to, before we let everybody go, we jumped over to Discord for our after show to kind of keep this conversation going. I did want to go around the room here. And for those of you that have things going on in, if you will, content creation, I kind of want to find out what's going on here before we said good afternoon. And Kristy, maybe let me start with you. Where can people find things that you are working on, or because I know you do. You break. Well, anyways, let me let you tell people what you've been working on.
So I actually work for a script service called WeFixYourScript.com, and I'm a story analyst and script doctor. So people working on any kind of project, whether it's a TV pilot episode, script, they send us their work, and we do an evaluation and kind of review it, and then work with them on getting it kind of up to a par or cleaning it up for them however they want. And then as an aspect of that, I'm also a story analyst on a podcast called The Successful Screenwriter, where we analyze and break down movies. So we go watch something on Amazon or Netflix or Hulu, and then myself and my mentor Jeffrey, we do a story analyzation from kind of a writing aspect, character building, character arc, and then how plot works. And so you can find that at thesuccessfulscreenwriter.com. And then if you go to the podcast link, you'll see my name on there. We do one weekly. That's kind of what I'm working on in the screenwriting element and other film projects as well. But that's where you can find me online.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I'll make sure to get those, like I said, in the description of the video afterwards. I'll get those details. We can add that. It's a lot of fun. I haven't been able to catch one of the kind of the breakdowns you do live, because you do those live, don't you?
We do. Yeah,
Facebook.
We do them live, and then he puts them back up on his podcast. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've always wanted to catch one, and I always see it afterwards, like, oh yeah, it was live.
Oh, and it's funny, it's because it's right before the Dusty Wheel on Wednesdays. So like,
okay.
If I end that one, I'm like trying to jump over to the Dusty Wheel so I can watch it.
Gotcha. That must be why I see it. And I'm like, why did I miss it again? I'm not realizing that I'm just not available. Well, thank you again, Kristy, for being here and for putting the time in. Really appreciate that. And you, BrotherDan, I know that you also do some live Wheel of Time content. In fact, you have a show tonight. You want to just quickly tell viewers about, what it is you do and where they can find you?
Yes, but first, let me thank you, Matt, for having us on.
Sure.
Kristy, thank you for doing this. And everyone who performed today, this was really fun. It was nice working with you guys. I'm one half of The Way of the Leaf. My brother and I are a puppet show. We have 2 shows a week. One on Thursday that is a spoiler free show with a first-time reader. We are in the Great Hunt right now. And then on Sundays, we have guests on, and it's a spoiler-filled show. And as Matt said, in about an hour or 2, we will be on at 7 Eastern. And our guests tonight are Master of the Deck, DT, and Morgan from the Podcast of the Dragon. So it should be fun. We talk spoiler stuff, and then we play some games and write some songs and stuff.
Yeah, and you can find the link. I think that link is in the description already of the video, so you can find that if you want to check out The Way of the Leaf puppets, if you will. The puppet show is a lot of fun.
Why not?
So.
Why not, right?
Exactly, right. And Maria, Watt Chibis is something that at least if you don't know what a Wat Chibi is, by the way, go look it up on Twitter. Then you can find out. I don't have a cool image to show right at this moment for it, but what do you have coming up? I don't know if it's the next Wat Chibi group of Wat Chibis coming up, or where can people follow your work?
So I have recently started making like videos of me drawing the chibis and re-listening to all the books in Wheel of Time, starting of course with The Other World, and I am currently on chapter 3 because it takes me a while to do the chibis and listen to the thing and just edit myself quite heavily because I keep saying whilst I'm drawing. So yeah. Honestly, it's really hard to draw and in the meantime say things that are semi-coherent about a book whilst I'm also listening to it. So it's like my brain has to do 3 different things at the same time and I can hardly do one like properly at any time. So it's hard. And it takes me like a week or 2 weeks to get an episode out, but you can find it here on YouTube, on my channel, which is by Memo. And also on Twitter, I do make chibis. So the next batch will be all the characters that appear in chapter 3 of The Other World. And I was actually thinking of opening up commissions tomorrow, which is Monday.
Oh, good.
So if you, since I'm only opening up like a limited amount of slots, so if you guys want to get one in this lot, you better, just be quick.
Yeah, go follow Maria. You can find her link to on Instagram in the description. I'll make sure I get the YouTube link up here.
I will. I'm gonna get it.
Brother Dan's already like one. Kristy, everyone's already kind of calling it out. Like,
I want a puppet chibi.
It's gonna be full before you open it.
I know, right? Yeah, you can go find Maria also on Twitter. It sounds like commissions are opening up tomorrow, so make sure you check into that. And like she said, they're limited, so be around, be watching for her communication out there. And last but not least, I want to mention this. Alyssa, like I said, did an amazing Wat parody during our challenge that we had back in March. I actually put a link in the description. You can go watch it if you haven't heard of the Royals parody. It's great. But I wanted to give Alyssa a second. You have another parody coming out. What can people expect?
I guess I have no life now, and this is all I'm going to be doing with my free time. But yeah, so this will be the 3rd one. I, of course, did the one for the contest, and then Andrel, Bard of Time, and I sang another one, and then this next one's really silly. There's a leaf blower involved. It's kind of an answer to the winning video. So I just hope you enjoy it. It's just silly and fun.
It's an answer to the winning video? Oh my gosh.
I can't wait.
Yeah, if you don't know what song won, you need to go check out the playlist that we have here at the Dusty Wheel. It has all the songs from the Time Song Parody Contest. And the winner is a doozy. So you should go check that out. I can't wait to hear this one now. I'm even more excited. Well, thank you all for being here. And thank you, Nick just left us a tip, said, well done. I'd love to see when Moiraine returns as a table read. Absolutely.
Indeed.
Thank you very much, Nick. And for all of you who left a tip today, we really appreciate that and your support of this channel. If you don't know, for those of you that have ever asked how you can help around here, we recently started Matt's Badgers. That's right. Fans named this group Matt's Badgers on Discord. If you want to go jump in, we try to figure out a way to kind of help people or allow people to help out here. And you can go sign up as a Badger, and you can read all about it on Discord if you want to get involved in what's going on here at the Dusty Wheel. There's more information there. Like I said, find us here on Discord right after the show. We're going to go do and just chat in one of the chat rooms on Discord, and we can have a lot of fun. Like I said, if Norm has time, maybe he'll give us some Samuel L. Jackson tam, if you will. So thank you all for being here. This was a lot of fun. What a great way to spend the afternoon as a Wheel of Time fan. And once again, Kristy, thank you for putting the work in, and for everyone showing up and rehearsing and making this a wonderful, wonderful table read. Awesome to see all your faces here. Thank you for my new guests. And as we say around here at the Dusty Wheel, good afternoon and smash to black.
Welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. You went right to kill it. Look at you, you're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like, this is really well.
And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that, and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So,
just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm sad.
I see Nakomi as something along the lines of a Shadar Haran analog.
It does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge. Yay!
Carol's like baby face mounted on like a huge body. So like
This
all
is
of a
not
sudden,
just
it's like,
a traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi And elements. just a moment for those that
ago,
are kind of interested. Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guest in here with me. And
probably, I would say, put in 70, 80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no,